we'll go ahead and get started. We'll just give it one more minute because I think everybody's kind of mulling around. But like, Shannon, can you write those two things down? Those were requests from
Yep.
Cheryl there.
Could you say them again, Mother? Sales tax and shipping, correct?
Yeah, what happens to my sales tax, in other words, when it's an invoice, I'm sure it's being saved in sales tax so I can get to it. But how does that affect my balance sheet or anything?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because you owe money to somebody else, technically, okay?
Okay, so it ends up, okay, that's what I'm wondering,
Yep.
is where it ends up and how it comes out, on how it shows on my, my balance sheet.
So your sales tax actually is not included on your P&L, not at all, okay? Because it's not your money. So you don't even claim it as part of your revenue, okay?
But it does show my balance sheet as an expense.
It shows up on your balance sheet, and currently what we do is we're like, hey, here's how much your sales tax is. Click here if you want. You would create a user-maintained item, and then you would kind of, so there's some funky stuff that starts happening with sales tax, okay?
Yeah.
And sometimes what happens is that you actually get paid money to collect it, okay? And then how are you going to realize that sort of?
That's right, because I have
Okay.
this percentage that comes off, or like,
Okay, like-
Nebraska does.
Some different things happen on different levels. And so we'll show you where we're at, and there is some future development that could really be useful in sales tax, but we just have to get to it as we, basically sales tax is somewhat of a manual type thing. We're recording all of it automatically. So you can have as many sales as you want. We'll record all of the data. We'll show you all the things. We show you how to get reports. But to actually push it onto the balance sheet, we need another piece, which is called standalone declarations, okay? At certain places you have to kind of go, okay, this is now revenue, came from over here, and I'm going to pull, you have to do some special stuff. It's almost its own little monster. And so, but there's going to be some cool little pieces coming down the pipeline. But I'll show you, you can do it right now. We have people who are doing sales tax right now. You just have to see it, okay, that's kind of a little bit more of a manual piece. We're collecting all the data automatically, doing all the calculations, and holding it for you. But it's not fully mapped to yet. Like, you know how everything's like automatically mapped to? We're like, we know that you want this, we know it exists, okay? But the mapping isn't just a simple little map. Like, all of a sudden you have, like, a simple map. Watch this. PO comes in, you get this, and I'm going to actually go ahead and flip, if you're okay, just to kind of show you. You can do a simple map this way, watch. Okay? A vendor, a PO, it gets here, eventually you have to pay for it, hits your expense, your bank, and eventually, all in all, boom, the balance sheet records, okay? That's what we would consider a simple mapping, okay? You want to see sales tax? Watch this. The customer uses a shopping cart, creates an invoice, which lowers this, okay? That's just your normal transaction, right? Okay? So on this invoice, there's a little special thing called sales tax, okay? Now, I only need to record a portion on my P&L, but I also need to record a portion of it on my balance sheet, okay? And then eventually, this starts accruing, like I don't pay it off for a while. Then eventually I have to remit that, okay? So then all of a sudden we have to come back here, tie it to this, and then all of a sudden, say there was a little extra and they're like, oh, you know what, we're actually going to give you a percentage back. All of a sudden you have to go like this. I've got this huge amount that is not being recorded on my P&L. I now have to go like this. I have to do a special deposit to kind of make it hit the bank to actually adjust it because my numbers don't match because they gave me some money back, okay? And all of a sudden that has to hit the P&L in a different spot. It's not normal revenue, it's special. So like that's sales tax, okay? So it gets just a little bit more complicated. So we've got a bunch of the pieces mapped out, but not all of the pieces to the full automated level because do you pay your taxes every week, every month, like there's what happens is if we know what the main road is and there are minimal variables or we know which doors or turns you can do, we can automate that. When it starts getting into this thing like, here's your Free Willy system, like even look at this map right here. If I knew that everything went here, here, and here, I can map that pretty easy, right? But what if I went here, 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 here. Like that's hard to map. It's very hard to map. And so what we do inside of Adilas is if we cannot tell exactly what the rigid process, and don't even worry about these numbers. I was just showing you paths around like almost as if this was a virtual layout of an office building, okay? If we know this, we can help you map it and we can help you automate it, okay? Boom, boom. When it starts getting all over the place and you're just like, do. Here's another thing that gets interesting with sales tax. What if you have 50 different states? What if you have X number of counties? What if you have X number of cities? What if you have X number of special, like, oh my goodness, like, there is not a straightforward map on some of these different pieces. So what we do is we're like, we will gather it up for you. Our goal right now with sales tax, and this is just what I would say like currently, if you will, currently our goal is you're going to make these sales, okay? You're going to make them, cool. We're going to collect sales tax. Let's say that sales tax is right over here, okay, all by itself. It's basically a portion of invoices, okay? It's held on the invoice. Now, we have to also take into account this. How much of this money is still owed, okay? Do I want to pay taxes on something that's still owed or has been variable, okay? I just have a fork in the road. I'm not even sure what's going to happen, okay? Like, as soon as we start encountering multiple variables, what we do is we're like, okay, cool. Here's a normal process, but we need to kind of know how you want to play. We push it back onto the user. You tell us what you've got going on here, and then we'll help you. There are some neat things that are going to end up coming out of that, but I don't know if that helped or not, but like as soon as you start running into multiple variables and things that you can't even control or don't know, it's like, okay, whoa, manual. And you have to just realize that that's what it is, okay? So the end of the month, you're going to spend an hour doing your sales tax, okay? You're in Star. We've got all the stuff. You've been recording it, getting great detailed records. End of the month, you're going to have to kind of be like, okay, cool. Here's what we're going to do, and I'm going to put this entry in. It's a manual physical entry. You almost go back to old school because it's a manual entry versus all this other stuff that you've been seeing has been automated. We automate the P&L 100%. I can pull from deposits. I can pull from invoices. I can pull from expenses. I can pull from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Pulling it in. I can pull from stock units. I can pull from trade-ins. I can pull from all these different places I'm pulling into the P&L. When it gets to the balance sheet, it literally is halfsies, okay? Half of it I can automate. The other half, you have to do a little bit of work, okay? But if you're trying to take it clear to this level, the pieces that I am automating, if I say halfsies, I don't even know if that's fair to say. It's probably like this, okay? We probably do 3/4, 75% of all of your accounting is automated, and you have a little bit that you have to kind of help out. Versus like every single transaction. Oh man, we did this much sales. I need to put this much over here. Oh no, the sales changed. Oh no, now I have to adjust. I'm like, because we're actually doing things on the fly, it actually helps so that we don't have as many adjustments. Okay, because it's real data on real time, and each item carries its own little piece. This little guy right here, this changes your life. An object and data over time. What happens to it? What is the story? So instead of this right here in old school type thing, this was just numbers, okay? You're just dealing with numbers. 500 here, 500 here, minus this, minus this. It's just numbers. Guess what we play with? Story. We play with the story, okay? Does that make sense how it's slightly different? And it totally, this right here changes the game because each item is able to hold its own pieces of the data. We will get into sales tax, and if you want to, we can even walk through some scenarios and do some stuff. But that's kind of a quick little thing, if you will, like how it works, what's happening, what's going on. We just barely talked about that. Do you want to jump in there?
We can, if that's what everybody wants, or we can go to something else.
Okay.
I think I understand the principle. In other words, you're telling me how much I've collected, but then because each state is different, each county is different, each city is different, I'm going to have to fill out the form, and then I'm going to have to balance it out or just
You're going to have a user-maintained piece inside of your balance sheet here
Yeah.
because different things happen, okay? Now, if it was always straightforward, I collect it, I automatically roll it out, I collect it, I automatically roll it out, what happens to the different counties or cities that say, I collect it and I roll a portion out, I collect it, I roll a portion out, oh, they gave me a dividend back. Like, there's all sorts of different transactions that are happening. So literally, you have to think, we probably take care of 75% of this automatically, but there is a little portion that is user maintained. We haven't even dipped in there, but that's where you would actually add sales tax type stuff to it, okay? It's just a small portion of your balance sheet is user maintained. Matter of fact, watch this. If we actually switch to our balance sheet right now, say I go balance sheet, watch this for just a second. I'm not going to do anything special. Get the values. Okay, so you ask about taxes, okay? Currently, this and this and this, we're currently out by $32. Of this, besides taxes, I'm looking for $17.57. I have this much monthly sales tax that's being attributed. If I wanted to, I could look at that. Here's your details. Let's go get, okay, check this out. My particular report, I have a total, look at this right here. I just want to show you for just a minute. This kind of shows you how it instantly kind of gets complicated, okay? Watch. $15 from 8/1 to 8/29 for sales tax. If I click on this drill down, guess what it prompts me for? Which of these locations would you like to see? Like, I can actually show it to you from a different report to show you what that whole thing is, but watch this. It wants to know, how do you do this? Because guess what? Each location has different taxes it's collecting. Let's go check out San Francisco. We're trying to get back to, what was it, $11 or something? Get the report. Okay. Well, how much was it?
15.
Okay. So it looks to me like I sold some stuff, but it was labor, so I had 0 taxes that were collected. Okay. Let's go. Actually, I'm just going to switch it right here. Instead of San Francisco, let's check Sacramento. What do we got? Okay. Here is some sales tax, 1502. Okay. City of Sacramento. Looks like most of my taxes currently is in Sacramento. Okay. And then if I check my other one, what's the West San Francisco? I don't have anything. Okay. So I know that all of it's in San Francisco. So if Sacramento. Now I have a bunch of different ways to do it. Do you want to be way at the top and look down? Do you want to look at the daily groups? Do you want to look at this? How do you want to look at it? How your sales tax? Let's start at the top. Click. Okay, so basically what this does, it says, hey, here's my different tax categories broken down and summed up into different little pieces, okay? Here's my 1502. We're going to just switch, okay? Let's go to the next level down, daily groups. When did this happen? Okay, so basically on 8/8, we had some stuff that happened. On 8/29, which was today, we had some other stuff happen, some miscellaneous things. Like basically, how do you want to look at your sales tax? Where's your different? We have tons of different ways that you can see it. Okay, let's actually go clear to the invoice level. Let's go even deeper. Okay, invoice 126, 127, and 128. Okay, where did they get? What was collected? Which tax categories? This one didn't even have anything that was taxable. Okay. Basically, if I click on this, it even goes to the next level down, which is the details. Okay. Why don't you actually show me what these physical line items were that were on these invoices? Click. Okay, cool. Here's what we did. Just so you know, here's where all of my taxes were now calculated. State taxes, 17 cents, 11.31. County taxes, nothing. City taxes, nothing. Oh, other one, under this particular invoice, I had a certain amount. Okay. So basically, you would actually have to go into that invoice to kind of figure out what that other amount was for. Okay. So, so this 348 was under other one. We know this is Sacramento. I'm going to take you around a different way so that we can actually go see what that is. If you're doing sales tax, you're going to understand this. Locations and sales tax. Click. I currently have 3. I'm going to go into Sacramento, and I want to see what they put under other one. Okay. 6.5 for state, 0 for county. City of Sacramento had a special one, and they only wanted it applied to normal items and unlimited items, not to some of the other pieces. Okay, that's what other one would be. It's a city tax. They could have put it up here, but maybe they chose to not make it global across the board, okay? It's just a setting, but like as soon as we start getting into all these variables, we'll collect all the data for you. Grouped, day by day, invoice level, or clear the actual line items of what we physically collected per thing. We have all of the details. We help you sum it up. We help you do what you want to do. Here's another way to quickly get to your sales tax stuff. If you click Home, out of Invoices, if you have the correct permissions, there's a sales tax report, okay? You can instantly, it's right off of Invoices because it's actually a sub of Invoices. Click, and you're right here. Another way to quickly get to sales tax is if you're home and you do History, click. If you scroll down, it'll actually tell you what your invoices as far as like different tax type stuff, especially once you get your taxes set up. So like if we actually did one that was taxable, it would go, oh, just so you know, here's how much tax you collected. We did one invoice and there was no tax, so it showed up. It didn't even populate that field, okay? But it would literally show up right here. Should we sell a bowling ball so you can see where it would show up?
Sure.
Okay, I know that we had some bowling balls, and I can't, EXTR, what do we got under Extreme? 5 megaplex, did I spell that right?
They just spelled it with an X, is
Okay.
how they put it into their.
XT.
That's why you can't find it.
Okay, so 13 bowling balls right here. How many bowling balls would you like to buy? They're only $47 a piece. How about one? Okay, perfect. So we click Add.
I'm actually giving it to my family, each one.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's a heavy Christmas,
Wow,
right?
yeah.
That's right.
So we're going to say Start the Cart. We come down. So $4 total tax on this guy, okay? Because Sacramento is set up. If I wanted to actually see what it did, watch this. If I click on Edit, we're just dealing with taxes. Here's the normal pieces. And normally we totally skip all of this because it's like, okay, whatever, taxes is taxes. Watch this. 6.5 of the 47 is $3.06. Okay? 94 cents was actually an additional 2% that was under the City of Sacramento tax. Okay? Which technically is being held in a field called Other 1, but we allow you to kind of alias over it depending on which location it is. Okay? So if you change the price, it will actually update and change any of these costs. So say, for instance, you want to go up, higher, or lower.
Use $65.
Okay, perfect. 65, and if I want the system to recalculate it, I have to have that checked. If I don't want the system to have it, I would have to uncheck it, and then it would take the physical values that I do right here. Okay, but I'm going to leave it checked, say taxable, update. So currently we're at $5.53, so it'll automatically readjust those as you change things or as you update quantities. That's inside the shopping cart. That's tax stuff that's already built in. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out. Are you okay with this? Do we need anything else? We'll just do a quick counter sale so that I don't have to assign a customer. And we'll say check out. And let's just call it cash. Let's say that it was $70.53. Say he gave me 75 bucks cash. As soon as I move out of this right here, you'll see down here, watch this. So I'm currently still in this field. As soon as I move out, it will adjust this little value right there. I owe you $4.47. As soon as I create the invoice, it also will show right here. Okay, change due $4.47. Okay, it kind of helps you know what's going on. If you're on a different invoice view, it still says basically the exact same thing. Change due, it's just located in a different spot. Okay, this is the 8.5 by 11 invoice versus, for instance, the mini. And it depends on which printer you're using and how you're set up. Okay, but we record that change due so that you could then give the person back that money. Okay, so we were in sales tax. What I wanted to do is I wanted to go history, report. We didn't see this link before. Okay, so on a per daily basis, $5.53. Click. Still wants to know which location because it's kind of like, here's your total sum that I collected, but like, in order for me to pull my reports, you have to like ask specifically. If you just have one location, it would go right in here and it would show you your information. But if you have multiples, all of a sudden it's literally a queue inside of the system that's like, uh-oh, I'm stacked. I need to kind of figure out which one he wants to see it in because it just can't figure out which piece of the puzzle to follow, if you will. So anyway, your stuff will automatically show up right here. if you wanted to quickly view some stuff at a glance, say I wanted to say, you know what, I want to see year to date what I've done. And once again, this is just a play site, but let's go ahead and go 829. So custom date rate, effectual, what shows up for roll call, get it. Okay, so I've done 2 invoices, sorry, 2 deposits, 2,500. Invoices, I've done 16, around 2,000. And I come down here, taxes on line items, a total of $69.94. Okay, I have no clue if they sold those out of Sacramento or wherever, whatever, but we are gathering that data as far as where those pieces are. Okay?
Great.
Any other questions on that? That was kind of a quick little sales tax thing, but okay, we didn't show you how to record it. We show you that we are recording the automated piece, but we didn't show you how to re-record it. Good deal. This might be a little deep, but are you ready? We're going back to the balance sheet, right? And primarily what we've been doing so far, let's take a look, see what they have going on here. Aha, they already created one. This is the difference. System generated, user maintained, manual, okay? That's what that means. They physically had to set this one up, and then they recorded it, okay? Now what I would do is I would probably be watching this right here and saying, hey, here's what my sales tax, if I'm off by $20.55 and I get my balance sheet correct, I'm going to leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it until I actually go to pay it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stamp it, I'm going to pay it, I'm going to write an expense for it, I'm going to do all this kind of stuff. And then I would physically come in right here to this details and line items, and I would actually come in and say, like, here's what's actually happening, okay? Looks to me like they had from San Francisco and West San Francisco on 331. Looks like this is where they were playing with it in this play site, okay? But they physically made physical entries, and you could technically even tie it to an expense receipt if you knew exactly how much was going. And end of the month, you have to do your sales tax report. What's your total sales? What did you collect? What should have you collected? Like, there's a bunch of different variables there. You pull your reports, you get it, and eventually you would just add it in to a user-maintained item. I'm going to click on history real quick, see what we can see. Adilas Demo did this way back in 512. They were just kind of playing around, probably just playing, okay? So they created the little thing, and then basically, this is the history on a user-maintained balance sheet item. We haven't even played there. We haven't even played there. Why would you want to use something like this? Or what is it for? Every single thing inside of Adilas is a tool, okay? Now, I'm going to actually take you to a cool graphic really quick. It's actually found on the FlexGrid homepage. Okay, so these are your main system players that we have here, okay? Already today, we've been doing customers and invoices. We did general inventories and POs and stuff like this. Users, we paid somebody $500. We haven't touched deposits, and look, that one has a green one too. Okay, that's one of our main 12 players, so it's technically one of the tools or the groups or players that we use inside of the system. So if we're not recording everything, say the loan that was made, or say the, whatever, you need a spot to record that. And that's where you put in your user-maintained balance sheet items. Let's go take a look at what they did. I'm going to hit home, and I'm going to go and say balance sheet items, all, and this will give me just my user-maintained guys, okay? They've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in equities, some capital that was paid in, $20,000, okay? They've got some retained earnings. So what is retained earnings? This is kind of a technical term, but what is retained earnings?
I don't know for sure, but it would be interest and stuff you got.
Okay. What retained earnings is basically if you go down to this level right here on the financial flow calculator, you got tons of revenue. Eventually, you have your costs. Eventually, you have your expenses. You have your net profit. Remember how that automatically cycles itself over here to the equity portion of that? Well, guess what happens on this? This is over a date range. Okay. This is a snapshot in time. So it's kind of, there's different pieces of time that happen. So what happens is your, basically your net worth, you make whatever you make, it rolls itself over to here. Okay, it's called your retained earnings. what actually got pulled from the last year forward, whether it's positive or negative, okay? But you have to realize this connects with this automatically. It's just an automatic connection, okay? But your retained earnings, once you roll over to the next year, you have to actually physically record, hey, when I was all done, because this right here, this literally does an entire year at a time, okay? I'm going to get my marker just so you can kind of see this, okay? Income statement starts for an entire year at a time, okay? So from the first, say I'm middle of the year, say I'm here, boom, I get an entire what's called a fiscal year, okay? This is what's called in your income statement. Your balance sheet is literally this. It's a point in time, okay? On 10/1, where am I? Okay? Oh, I had gotten this far. For 10/1, I only have this much of the data in them, okay? Click, am I balanced, okay? Oh, at 6/1, where was I? Click, oh, I was only halfway now. I only have this much, okay? They're different kind of entities. And so that's how they kind of play a little bit as far as that goes. Any questions? I can kind of tell you, I was like, whoa, okay, I didn't.
No.
That's only one. Did you know that the balance sheet is just a snapshot in time?
No. Yes and no.
Okay, the balance sheet sounds like, oh, wow, cool, cool, cool. Literally, the balance sheet has one date associated with it. I want to know what's happening here, okay? The income statement, it has a range. If we go here to the balance sheet homepage, and I pull my balance sheet, look at this date, okay? A single date, pull my stuff, okay? Go get it, click. Guess what it says under my net profit right here? From 1/1 to 8/29, I am actually currently losing $1,000, okay? This is a range, but this automatically got sucked in from the income statement, okay? The balance sheet is literally a single date. So if I go show hide search criteria, and let's bounce it back to 6/1. 6/1, let's see where we're at on 6/1. Click. Okay, currently I was out of balance by $7.62, okay? But it pulled stuff way back. It now adjusted this net profit as well. So what you're doing is you're literally playing with dates. When you start thinking balance sheet, especially inside of Adilas, I'd like you to think of this. You've got to think time, okay? Because guess what? I'm going to draw with my markers right here. Let's say that we're running things over time. Say we're trying to do this middle line right here. So over time, I've got date, 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 you know, whatever I determine is my income statement, okay? Eventually I'll have a start, eventually I'll have a stop. My balance sheet is literally going to it and saying, I'm just interested right here. Am I in balance? Oh, I'm just interested right here. Am I in balance? It's literally a snapshot in time, whereas the income statement kind of rolls, that's your profit and loss statement. It rolls over your fiscal year. Or you can just pull it for a month or a week or whatever, okay? But your balance sheet needs to pull all that data because that automatically gets fed into the balance sheet. Okay?